They're fighting over our land. Isn't that something? That land belongs to us. There's even videos of people that are living in Israel that I've seen a couple where the Israeli citizens saying, "You black people, you are the real Jews, come back home." I've actually seen it. So you got people in Israel that actually know, that actually live there all their life, that actually know who the true people belong in that land. Right. Check that out, man. You can't make this stuff up. And I've seen the video. Okay?
That was stolen from Africa to America, that you don't know who you are, but you are the children of Yahweh, the children of Israel. And I'm telling you, you have to come back to your homeland, here to Zion, to Jerusalem, because us the Gentiles, we do need you. We need you to come and pray, because you are our saviors. You're the one that was chosen by Yahweh to live in this land, not the Jewish people, it's you. You were stolen from Africa, they deceived you, they told you that you are slaves, but you actually the children of Israel. And it's time just to come back. Come for your people, come back for us, come back for the whole Gentiles, because only you gonna save us.
Romans 8:19 NLT. For all creation is waiting eagerly for that future day when Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua will reveal who his children really are. Call Holo Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Chachodash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, those that taught us his truth and labored for over 30, 40 years. Shalom unto you, beautiful men. And Tawada for your diligency throughout all these years. You're definitely worthy of double honors. Shalom as well out to the 144,000 men, the future governing body of the kingdom to come, those that are scattered across the four corners of the globe, that are studying profusely, that were ordained to believe on the names of Yahweh wa Yahweh Shah in this latter end time, and to do his work. Shalom unto you, men. Shalom as well unto the innumerable 1/3 that consists of men, women, and children that have been blessed with the mark of the Torah, which is exempt from the judgment that is fast approaching, pursuant to Ezekiel 9:4. Shalom unto you. The name of this lesson here is Ye Have Parted My Lands. As you look around the world and you see the things that are happening in the world, for those who have the spiritual eyes and ears to see and hear, you'll understand that we are in the latter end of this kingdom. And this was something that the prophets and disciples of old were looking forward to. As a matter of fact, did not the disciple ask Yahweh Shah, what shall be the sign of his coming? And the Lord said, there will be wars and rumors of wars, nations rising against nation and kingdoms against kingdoms. And is that not happening right now? Now, the only way to really truly understand, of course, what's happening, what's going on in the world today, is that you have to understand the history behind it. All right, it's been what, over a little, I want to say maybe 1,950 so years since we've seen our homeland of Zion or Yerushalayim, right? And call Halal Yahweh Bashmi Ashah, that we are entering that latter end of Esau's world pursuant to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, all right? And so we see all of the creation is sick and tired of being under this man's hegemony and rulership, all right, and is awaiting for the righteous sons of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua to spring forth in the earth. And the Lord is doing exactly that. He's waking up and making the world known who his true children are, starting with the elect, right? So the woman in the video stated that we didn't know who we are or were and were deceived, and she was absolutely correct, which proves what? There are nations and people out there who know exactly who we are, all right? And this woman was in our homeland saying this, all right? And just a side note to clarify, the names of the Heavenly Father and His Son in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew tongue is Yahweh wa Yahweh Shah. And our names are omens, meaning they would describe what will do or what will be. Okay, it is not Yahweh, it's not Yahusha. Okay, it is Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. All right, just for clarity, because that name is very, very important. And that's the name that the men of the Lord in this latter end time are calling upon. Hence the reason why all these things are befalling here in the earth. So woman stated that We didn't know who we were, which is true. And the reason is because our land, our culture, our customs, our heritage was literally beaten out of us. All right. And that's when we came here on slave ships. All right. Over hundreds of years ago. All right. It was erased from our memories altogether, pretty much. All right. But as we know, it was prophesied to happen. Baruch 2:30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. Here's the point. But in the land of their captivity, which we're in right now, they shall remember themselves. All right. So this is the last captivity here in Babylon the Great. All right. Where the Lord is causing the remnant to remember who we are. All right. And return in order for us to usher in this new Jerusalem. All right. The kingdom beginning with who? Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah. All right. Because we fell away and were exiled out of our homeland during the Roman persecution in 70 AD. Led by Titus and Domitian. All right. And that's also in the history books called the diaspora. All right. And we ran into all the lands, including Asia, India, Europe, and chiefly the interiors of West Africa. All right. Where a bulk of us have come from via the transatlantic slave trade. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to grab this in Joel 3:6. It says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem ye have sold unto the Grecians, that you may remove them far from their borders. And that's exactly what happened. All right. We were gathered up by the Islamic trappers, okay, along with the Hamite Africans, and were sold unto the Grecians. All right. Esau, Edom. Okay. Exiled out of our land and scattered to the four corners of the globe via slave ships. Okay. Just when you have that understanding. As a matter of fact, Luke 21:24 also speaks about it. I'm going to go ahead and pull that. It's Luke 21:24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. They meaning the children of Israel, the true children of Israel. And here's the point. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that's the time that we're in right now. Okay. When we rebelled against the Lord in 70 AD, the Lord sent the Romans to persecute us, and we fled from our land, and the Gentiles, chiefly Esau, Edom, inhabited our homeland, our culture, our customs, our identity, and faming themselves to the world to be the children of Israel. Now, mind you, all this, of course, had to take place. Why? Because it's biblical prophecy. All right, so this is the Lord's movie. Okay, so which brings me to 2 Thessalonians. Let me grab that. Because there are an array of different plethora of scriptures that clarify exactly what happened to us, right? Why we are not in our homeland today. 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, right? And that's what we just spoke about in 70 AD. We fell away when we rebelled against the Lord. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That man being revealed is Esau, Edom, the son of perdition, the so-called white man here today. All right. Goes on to say, matter of fact, I'm going to jump down here to 6. And now ye have known that what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. And this is his time, Esau, Edom, that latter end of his kingdom, where now the Lord, through the mouthpiece of his prophets, are revealing to the world who he truly is. All right. Even in the New Testament, when Paul wrote to the churches, who was in power then? The Roman Empire, Esau, Edom. He was in rulership. 2 Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Right. So this is Paul, all right, talking to the in Thessalonica, basically letting them know the mystery of iniquity does already work. Who's the mystery of iniquity? Esau, Edom. Only he who will let until he be taken, be taken out of the way. So Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah has allowed this man to rule in wickedness, all right, until his time was fulfilled, which we just read in Luke 21, and he be taken out of the way. And this is what's happening right now. All right, so the Lord hid this man and who he was to the world. Why? So that he can push his wickedness throughout the earth. And now that his time is being fulfilled, hence why the Lord said, the Lord said, the Lord is now, should I say, revealing through the mouths of his prophets who he truly is. All right. And lo and behold, he has been in our face the whole time. Okay. And that's just how cold the Lord is, man. All right. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is happening right now. The spirit of his mouth are his prophets that he set up to come out here and speak his word, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right. And that's a future prophecy that's getting ready to take place. All right. Now, I'm just speaking as a man when I say this, but Jake has always understood that the so-called white man was wicked as hell. All right. But we didn't understand the concept of the wicked, right, until the scriptures let it be known that this man, pursuant to Revelations 20, is the old serpent, the devil, and Satan, who deceived the whole world. All right. And when you go into, and that's the thing that's funny, when you go into devil, the word devil just means deceiver. Okay. Satan means what? Adversary. And the serpent or snake meaning a sly, cunning, crafty individual, which are all characteristics of a person. All right. That snake in the garden was just a characteristic of a person. Okay. That's all that means. It's not that difficult. All right. These are the same characteristics of Esau Edom. All right. Who uses deception to slither his way up into our land. All right. And make the world believe that they are the true Jews of the Bible. All right. And this began really, truly, I want to say after the first beast, which is the Roman Empire, fell, all right, and revived during the Renaissance era. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and have this in Revelations 20:7. And this is, and when 1,000 years is expired, Satan shall be loosened out of his prison. All right, so that 1,000 years was when we were in rulership, all right, the so-called Dark Ages of Europe, all right, the Byzantine Empire. So after the first beast, the Roman Empire fell, it revived or healed during the Renaissance era. Renaissance meaning rebirth, right? Rebirth of Esau, Edom, white supremacy, all right? The new Roman Empire, Rome 2.0, aka America, okay? As a matter of fact, let me grab, we'll go to Malachi 1:4. Because you have to understand Ecclesiastes says what? That which is then is now, and there's no new thing under the sun. So that first beast's deadly wound healed and came back as America. That's why you have the, what is it called? The American Treaty of Rome. When you look at our architecture, and the way our things are built here, you look at our laws, our decrees, all these things are fashioned after what? The first beast, okay? The original Roman Empire, okay? Just, giving you some understanding. Because Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down and call them the border of wickedness. And the people, let me say that word, and the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever. Right. So ultimately, the wicked, they came back into power. All right. And it says the people, plural, meaning Esau's whole nation, the Edomites. Okay. Because Genesis, the 36th chapter, lets it be known that Esau is Edom. All right. Beginning with his head tribe, which is Amalek, the so-called Jews that are in our land now. All right. The Lord said, I will throw them down. Okay. And when you go into the scriptures, what did the Lord say actually pertaining to Amalek? All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and grab that in Exodus 17th chapter. This is Exodus 17:16. For he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So ever since they rebuilt and got into our land by means of deception, it's been nothing but war and widespread wickedness all throughout the earth. Has it not? All right. Let's jump back to Revelations 20:8. And he shall go out and deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. Right. Talking about the devil and Satan. All right. Esau, Edom is just a metaphor, a parable. All right. So one of the major moves he had to accomplish through deception was what? Convincing the world that they are the Jews of the Bible. So one of the first thing he did was what? It was done through whitewashing, right? Or iconoclasm. Iconoclasm meaning the rejection or destruction of religious images. All right, it's heretical. All right, the doctrine of iconoclast. All right, and you can Google Byzantine iconoclasm. Okay, and Job speaks on this deception about iconoclasm. All right, and that's what happened when they came back into power. All right, they went throughout the Byzantine Empire, you know, when Jake fell and basically painted over all of our images, to painted himself, you know, white, painted the angels white, everything white, and pushed that narrative all throughout the world. So, you know, in order for you to deceive the world into thinking that you are the Lord's chosen people, well, first he has to look like you, right? It only makes sense. When Job speaks about it, Job 9:24, this precept is brought out a lot. And it says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Here's the point. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Covereth meaning painted. And the Lord is being sarcastic here. And he says, if not, where and who is he? So if it's not this man, who is he? Who else looks like this guy? Blonde hair and blue eyes. So the Lord is being sarcastic. All right. So as I said, who were the judges? The Most High, his son, the angels, the prophets, the disciples, the Israelites, all the men of the Lord. All right. He painted to look like himself. All right. And then he brought about what? That color psychology, calling the true Israelites black. All right. Or a byword as African American, Negro, colored. All right. All words doing Mexican, Indian, Latinos, all deceptive words. See, in order to get into our land deceptively, all right, he had to insert himself into the book. All right. In order to get the world to believe it. All right. As a matter of fact, the Apocrypha speaks about that in the book of Maccabees. All right. They also speak about iconoclasm. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and grab this in First Maccabees, the 3rd chapter. All right. And I'm just giving you some background history and how these people got into this land, because it's very, very important. All right. The Lord created an incredible devil, man. All right. First Maccabees 3:45. Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went or in or out, meaning the true Israelites. The sanctuary also was trodden down. There's that word trodden down again. Where did that come from? Luke 21:24. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down. And the aliens kept a stronghold. The heathen had their habitation in that place. And the joy was taken from Jacob. And the pipe with the harp ceased. Right. Because that was our land. That was our chief joy. Right. So when we were removed from there, all right, and they took our culture, our identity, and everything, you know, that was a huge blow, all right, to us. So talking about the harps and the pipes, that's all likening to joy and happiness, all right, because we were exiled out of our homeland, all right, and it's been taken over, all right. They destroyed the temple and doing all manner of abominations, all right. So again, he thought to insert himself. Why? To push his narrative. He couldn't get the world to believe. There's no way possible you can get the world to believe you are the children of Yahweh Shai if you don't go into the book and insert yourself in there. And then go out throughout the world with these images, Caesar Borgia, all right? So, you know, Jesus Christ, all right? And convince the world that this is what he looks like. And lo and behold, he happens to look just like us. And the world bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. Right? So it goes on to say, here's the point, First Maccabees 3:48. And this is what the heathen did. And they laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. You see? So taking over our land and inserting themselves into the book was a major key of deception. All right. And that's still a very heavy stronghold that's on our people today. All right. The Lord said, he deceiveth the whole world. He meant that. All right. Like I said, he created the ultimate demon and devil. All right. Make no mistake about it. Even though he's now being revealed in this time, most people still don't believe it or can't see it. All right. And this is one of the main reasons they are still in our land today. That's why. And ever since 1948, and actually beyond there, I want to say around 1917. All right. And that was a plan by way of the Balfour Declaration. Okay, and when you go into the history of that, it was issued by the British government of 1917. All right, and I believe it was after the First World War. It was establishing a Jewish state, okay, which is not biblical. All right, state simply means a condition. All right, Bible prophecy states that the Lord is going to gather the whole nation, the whole house of Israel, all 12 tribes, the southern and the northern kingdom, and bring them back to into their land. All right, but we know, of course, essentially, them being in our land today by means of deception was Bible prophecy. All right, Zechariah speaks about it. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Okay, matter of fact, so let's jump back here really quick to just to finish this out. Revelations 20. Just to give you some more understanding, and it says, and he shall go and deceive the nations that are on the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, and the number of whom is which is the sand of the sea. Right. So Gog and Magog, Russia. Okay. And that's what's happening right now to battle. Where? In World War III. This is taking place right now. Okay. The Lord has not forgotten. As much as Esau, Edom tells us, oh, we need to forget about slavery. We need to get over it. Well, the Lord has not forgotten. Okay. Malachi 3 and 6. I am the Lord, I change not. You see? Let me jump in Joel here. 3 and 21. I will also gather all the nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Yehoshaphat, all right? Valley of decision over there in the Middle East, which is happening right now. And here's the point. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. Here we go. Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. You see? And that's what that whole fight is over there. Isn't that what the Apostle Gabar was talking about in this video? And Bishop Sakaran was talking about in this video? They're over there fighting over our land right now. Okay? Ezekiel 36. Let me pull that up. Ezekiel 36. But, you know, this, like I said, you know, they had to deceive the world to go over there and get it. All right? And the world had to believe it. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all of Idumea. Idumea is just a Greek word for saying Esau or Edom, okay? Which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of their heart and with the spiteful minds to cast out as prey. Right. So the people, or imposters, as we like to say, celebrate their deception, all right, and casting out the true people of that land. All right. And the funny thing about it, when you when you look at these people, you know, it's not because they believe in Yahweh Shah, all right, that they're there, all right, but it's because they enjoy the perks, all right, and the incentives that come along with being the people of that land. Okay, does not Genesis 3rd chapter say, I will bless them that bless you, and I will curse them that curse you, talking about Israel, right? You see? So this is why America gives all that aid, all right, to that country. Okay, even the Lord Isaiah speaks about it. Isaiah 26 and 10. Let favor be shown unto the wicked. Right, the Lord has set him up in the Holy Land, allowed him to go over there and trot it down. And here's the point. Yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, which is Israel, right now, he will deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. You see that? So the Lord has allowed them to take over the Holy Land. And what do? Defiled it in the worst way possible. Right? Is it not the new gay capital of the world? Pink City? Right? Filling the land of the Lords with all kind of abominations and detestable things. All right? Housing a record number of sex offenders in our land and all manners of war and destruction that's going on over there. You see? And now the world is starting to see this. The world is starting to wake up, all right, and see what's happening. Okay? And they're starting to see the real truth. Okay, Obadiah 1 and 2 says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Right? So as I said, America, we pay what? Hundreds of millions of dollars annually of taxpayers' money that goes over to Israel freely. All right? We went to war and destroyed many different countries on behalf of Israel. And now you see that they're being revealed. All right? They're starting to be seen who they truly are. And the hatred of these people is festering within the world, man. The Lord is revealing this man for who he truly is. All right? And it's a beautiful thing to be alive to see this. Isaiah, the 25th chapter, as a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain, mountain meaning government, the face of the covering cast of over all people, and the veil that has been spread over all nations. Right, that deception. So the Lord is starting to destroy it, and people are starting to see who the wicked has been this whole time in the earth, man. The Lord is finally taking that veil, unveiling the wicked. And not the scripture says that he will be revealed in his time, 2 Thessalonians. This is his time. We just went over that, right? So the nations are really no more inferior of this man, okay? Because the Lord has literally made him bare and made him small in the sight of the nations, all right? And now that people are beginning to despise, America and Esau, Edom, okay? But all this is written in prophecy to happen. Isaiah 14 and 16, actually, let me grab that, speaks upon it. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee. So what does that mean when you look at somebody side-eyed, you kind of squint your eyes like, this motherfucker? That's that's what the scripture is talking about. They shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee and say, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Did not Esau do that all throughout the earth with all his wars, right? Going from country to country, stealing resources, destroying lands. Goes on to say that made the world as a wilderness. Has he not? Look at what happened over there in Maui. Look what happened over here in Chile. Do you think that Esau Edom ain't behind that? To set up his smart cities? Deforestation? If you look at a map right now, all of the fires that are going on throughout the earth, you will be mesmerized. It's happening right now as we speak. This man has destroyed the earth, the water, the air, the food, the animals, everything. He's dug throughout the earth nonstop. We have laws within decrees and laws within the book of Moses where there has to be a land Sabbath, all right, where you can't dig into the earth. This man has done nothing but extracting and taking things, man. Hence the reason why there's so many earthquakes, because he's sucking the oil, constantly out of the earth. And so the tectonic plates can't get lubricated. Therefore, you get all these earthquakes that are happening. This man has got to go. All right, but only through the Spirit you're going to be able to understand this. If not, then this is just going to fly right over your head. And ultimately, it really wasn't truly meant for you to get it in the first place, man. All right, this is the time that we're in right now. You see? And the nations are starting to see it. All right? Goes on to say here in they made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof and opened not the house of his prisoners. Right? So again, we know this isn't talking about some spiritual demon Satan that has a house of prisoners. This is talking about Esau Edom, man. All right? So all the nations, again, are starting to see the things that are happening. All right? But Jake can't fully get it. Right? 2/3 still want to bebop on a handstand, man, and play around and just be in all kind of manner of wickedness and ignorance, man. Not understanding, taking in consideration the timeline that we're in right now, all the things that are happening on the earth, the prophecies that are taking place right now, the mindset that you should be in right now. Jake still wants to play around. And the Lord lets me know in Isaiah 1 and 7, your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land strangers devour in your presence. And it is desolate and is overthrown by strangers. You see? And that's what's happened. Right? But Jake still doesn't consider these things, man. You see? And we're living in a beautiful time right now, in a miraculous time where the Lord is getting ready to crack the skies and he's getting ready to make that ultimate deliverance, man. And this is what we as the men of the Lord chiefly are waiting for. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me go here to Jeremiah. This is one of my favorite chapters here. Jeremiah 6 and 14. I'm just going to pull a few more here. And then I'm going to close out here. Jeremiah 16 and 15. Yeah, matter of fact, it's out of 14. Therefore, behold, the day shall come. He's talking about a future prophecy because the prophet Jeremiah seen it. That's how he was able to write it down, to record it. Therefore, behold, the day is come, saith the Lord, that there shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Right, because everybody knows that was a miraculous event that took place, right? So it says it's not even going to be talked about anymore in the days that are coming. Why? And it says, but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the North America, and from all the lands we had scattered, whether we had been driven, where he had driven them, right? All of the islands, North America, South America, because we've been scattered throughout the world. Did we go into that in the very opening of this lesson? What's it called? The diaspora. And it says, I will bring them again into their own land that I gave unto their fathers. Right. So this is going to be a miraculous deliverance. All right. That's going to make the first deliverance out of Egypt be no more thought of. Parting the Red Sea. All right. These things are still talked about today, whether by scholars or historians, or even they still make movies about this. Right. It was an unforgettable event. All right. That took place. So you can only imagine in what fashion this coming deliverance will be by the Lord himself. All right, so you have to ask yourself, if these are the two children of Israel, what was so miraculous about the Balfour Declaration and how they got into the land? What was so miraculous about it? You see, scripture says that Yahweh Shah will be here, all right, when the rightful people back in that land. All 12 tribes will be gathered. All right. The 144,000 elect governing body will be there. All right. Along with the 12. And it says there should be peace and no more war in the earth. The laws will be instituted. How come that's not happening right now? If those are the people over there in the land, how come there's still war, still pestilence, still diseases? How come the law of the Lord's not being issued out? Where is Yahweh Shah? If those are the true people. You see? But as we say in the world, what? A lie cannot live forever. Right? Isaiah 2. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days, right? This is talking about when the kingdom is here. And the mountain of the Salakia, the last days, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, meaning the top government on the earth. And it shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow unto it. Well, if those are the people over there now, how come all the nations aren't flowing all over there to Israel right now? Okay, the scriptures don't lie. Goes on to say, and many people shall go up and say, come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord's house, the mountain of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, of Jacob. And here's the point. And he will teach us of his ways. What? The law, statutes, and commandments are going to go forth out of that land. So the true children of Israel are supposed to be out here teaching all of the nations the ways of the Lord, to keep this kingdom in righteousness. How come that's not happening right now? And it goes on to say, and we will walk in his path, for out of Zion shall go forth what? The law and the word of the Lord of Jerusalem, and the word of the Lord of Jerusalem. Right. You see? And he shall judge among many nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. And here's the point. And nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So when the true people are over there, there will be no more war in the world. Nations won't fight against nations. We went over that in the very beginning when the disciple asked, well, when will the sign of your coming? Well, nations are going to fight against nation. Kingdoms are going to rise against kingdom. That's happening now. But when the Lord